There's a wonderful story about a man who had a very, very important meeting in the city. And he drove into the city, and it's always so difficult. And he had to find parking. And he drove around and around and around, and he could not find parking. He knew that he needed help. And so he prayed this prayer. He said, Lord, if you find me parking, I will know that you are God, and I will become a Christian. And as he came around the corner, right in front of the building where he was soon going to be late for a meeting, was a parking space. And his response was this: don't worry, Lord, I found it. How often have we prayed for something, and then it happens, but we forget to acknowledge and give thanks for the answered prayer? Proverbs chapter 3 verse 6 says, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. I can think back to hundreds upon hundreds of prayers, and that's why I always like to write down my prayers. I don't do it every day, but when you're praying for something, a big part of that is to give thanks. Many years ago, my wife, when we got married, was part of a small Bible study, a small prayer group. And they used to meet in our home. And so I had to get up and join in. And every week we'd write down 10 or 12 prayers. But the very next week we would go through those prayers to see if God had answered. And we'd give them a tick. Every single time there was a tick. Maybe not on the first day, but God answers prayer. And we need to acknowledge that he is the one who answers prayer, so it builds our faith in him and give him the credit for what he has done. That's why so often when people send me a prayer, they say, can you pray for this? And when I follow up and find the prayer has been answered, I say, God is great, amen, to remind them to acknowledge that prayer. One day Jesus was walking and he came upon 10 lepers. He told them to go to the chief priest and show themselves to be clean. And as they were going along, all of them were healed. I don't know what happened to 9 of them, but one came back and gave thanks. He acknowledged that it wasn't the temple, it wasn't the priest, it was Jesus that brought that healing. And when we do that, we make it so that God is more inclined to open up the path before us next time as well. So think for today, what are the prayers that God has answered that you haven't acknowledged for him yet? And give thanks. God bless and have a great day.